And here we go. Let's do some vocal exercises and then we'll start the big show. What do you say? Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. Good blood, bad blood. Good blood, bad blood. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. Unique, New York. Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. The black bug bled black blood. The black bug bled black blood. The black bug bled black blood. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. Peggy Babcock. I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. I slit the sheet I slit, and on the slitted sheet I sit. I'm a thistle sifter. I have 7 sieves of unsifted thistles, and 7 sieves of sifted thistles, for I am a thistle sifter. Amidst the mists of fiercest frosts, with barest wrists and stoutest boasts, he thrusts his fists against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Oh, what did I do today? At a minute or two to two, a thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. For there'll be a tattoo at 20 to 2, a rat-a-tat-tat and a tat-tat-tattoo. And the dragon will come when he hears the drum. At a minute or two to two today. At a minute or two to two. She stood on the balcony, inexplicably mimicking him hiccuping, and amicably welcoming him in. 1 hen, 2 ducks. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises. 1 hen, 2 ducks, 3 squawking geese, 4 corpulent porpoises, 5 limerick oysters, 6 pairs of Don Alfonso's tweezers, 7,000 Macedonian warriors in full battle array, 8 brass monkeys from the ancient sacred crypts of Egypt, 9 apathetic, diabetic, sympathetic old men on roller skates, with a marked propensity for procrastination and sloth. And finally, give me the gift of a grip-top sock. A drip-drape, ship-shaped, tip-top sock. Not your spiv, slick, slapstick stock. None of your fantastic slack, swap, slop from a slapdash, flash, cash, haberdash shop. Not a knick-knack, knit-lock, knock-kneed knickerbocker sock with a mock-shot, blob, model, trick, tick-tocker clock. Not a rucked-up, puckered-up, flop-top sock. Not a super sheer, seersucker, puka sack smock sock. Not a spot-speckled, frog freckled, cheap chic sock off a hodgepodge, moss-blotched, botched scotch block. Nothing slip-slop, drip-drop, flip-flop, or clip-clop. Tip me a grip-top sock. All right, I'm warmed up. All right, magic time. 1 minute till we go. I'm good. I'll talk to you just a minute. Glad you're here. All right, 20 seconds to magic time. Oh, I hope this works. 20 seconds to magic time. 20 minutes would be too long. All right, let's start the big show. Good morning and welcome to Johnny's Happy Place. I'm Johnny Millwater. I'm feeling healthy, happy, rich, and pretty today. I hope you are too. Welcome to the big show. I'm all dressed up today because I'm doing a show tonight at the VisArt in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're doing our very first Joyful Noise show. It's an entirely positive comedy show with a whole bunch of comedy interactive segments that we put together. We're doing it for the first time tonight. I'm very excited. I'm going to shoot a promo for it later on, and then I'm going to go straight to doing it. So hi. How you doing? I think it's just Shayna so far. How you doing? Thanks so much for coming. I hope Peggy Babcock joins us too. Very funny. How you feeling? You all right? I'm not doing great. I'm going to tell you. Oh, yeah, huh? Yeah, you deserve it. But I am a little bit stressed out. I'll just tell you before anybody else comes in, just you and me. I had a bottle of wine last night. I like to have a little wine from time to time, but I can't drink too much because I get sick. And I had a whole bottle, and I ended up spending the hours from 11 p.m. until 6 a.m. Getting up to vomit every 20 minutes or so. So I didn't get any sleep, and then I went straight to doing this. So we started a little bit late. Sorry about that. And then the whole day, I'm not going to stop. And I'm exhausted and running purely on caffeine and love of the game. How about you? You all right? You okay? Glad you're here. Let's go. Let's go to the chat. That's exactly what it looks like. I was hoping it would do that. Nice. Oh, this looks good. I should wear this every week. Looks good in this spot. Okay, anyway. Hi, Shayna. How are you doing? I'm glad I'm here, too. I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to talk to Dad. I didn't want to miss it, but I got a million things to do today. I'm glad you're here. Hey, pretty well. Ooh, okay. I recognize that kind of talk. Hope it wasn't too rough a day. Did you end up going to see that show last night? I know your buddy Daniel was doing a show. Dad is here. Hooray! Welcome, Dad. Thanks for coming to the big show. Let's see. I am healthy, happy, rich, and pretty. It's better to look good than to feel good, am I right? Huh? Come on. We all know that. But I'm glad you're doing pretty well. I want to talk to you about the big show. I'm excited about it. Hey, Dad, I think you just joined us, so we'll talk for a second with you about the big show. I'm doing Joyful Noise tonight at the VisArt Theater. It's a show that I put together from scratch. Damn thing outside the house. Well, pedicure's good. Pedicure's good. I need one of those myself. All right. Still, you got out. You got out. Hopefully the windows were down. Hey, Dad, just so you know, in Charlotte, the weather yesterday was just gorgeous. Like 72 degrees in the afternoon, 50 in the morning. It was absolutely beautiful. So we were all trying to find reasons to go out and play yesterday. But we got a reason to go out and play tonight. We're going to go see the big show. Let's see. Shayna, I have a job for you if you want one. You washed your hair, so your hair's the color of cotton. Oh, I can't wait to see your cotton candy colored hair. That light pink. I can't wait. I'm sure it's going to be great. You said that you'd be willing to help us out on the big show. I wanted to run an idea past you and see if you'd be willing to do it. Do you have a moment to talk about that? This might be a weird way. It's an easy thing, but it's an important thing to me. Excited about the show? I am too. Okay, I'm just going to ask the favor, and if you can do it, fantastic. And if you can't, that's okay. We'll find somebody else. It's not a problem at all. If you just want to come and watch the show, that's cool. I'm going to do two things that need assistance. One of them, I'm going to ask people to write down kind of like their wishes, like wish manifestation, on an index card and put it into an envelope. And then I'm going to do a magic trick with the envelope a little later on, and I'm going to try to make people's wishes come true. So I need somebody to help explain that at the welcome desk if you're interested. But more importantly, we're going to be doing peanut butter jelly time. You may know the song, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, to the peanut butter jelly with a baseball bat. That one. We're going to have that in the middle of the show because it's just delightful. And I want to actually have peanut butter jelly time where we will go around and serve very, very small squares of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with no crusts to the nice people. We probably need a maximum of 30 little squares. The closer to showtime it's made, the better. We also, if it's possible, to please go. I'll reimburse you for bread. I'll reimburse you for jelly. I'll reimburse you for peanut butter. And we need little trays. Like they sell at the dollar store, they sell these little fake silver trays. We need about 6 of those. If you can go to any of those, if you can get that done, I would be extremely grateful to you. And if not, that's totally cool. But that's your job tonight if you can. It's to make several peanut butter jelly sandwiches and cut them into little squares about yay big, and then put them on a little serving tray, and then me and the other comedians and you will serve them to the audience about halfway through. And also somebody needs to ask about peanut allergies at the door. So we'll talk about that. Do you think you can do that? It's a lot. It's a lot. Just putting that out there. This is fun. This is nice. Hey, Dad, how you doing? How's everything back in Tampa? Now, I brought Shayna up to speed, Dad. Well, you know what? Why don't you tell your own story? Why don't you tell us what happened when the hurricane struck Tampa? Now, my dad's in Tampa. I'm in Charlotte. We both had hurricanes the past couple of weeks. There's probably going to be another one next week. You know how these things go. So what happened, Dad? A-O mess. I believe that. I believe that. Now, I'm going to give away a couple of pieces of information here, just to, not to spoil it, but just to let folks know. Dad did not lose power, and he did not have any structural damage to the home. So he just had a stormy night, which is the best case scenario in a hurricane, I think. Please, I totally would do it, but I can't. It'll get you out of the house. But if you give me your receipt, I'll give you peanut butter and jelly money. I promise. So anyway, Dad's safe. Nobody got hurt. The cat kept him company. Up to speed. It's an exciting show. Really, we've been working hard on it for about 2 months. Yeah, tree limbs everywhere. Dad's got tons and tons of trees. Lots of trees. Not many trees in Tampa in general, but in our neighborhood, there's a lot of trees, which is nice. All right, I put a show together for you guys. So while we think about what to talk about, let's spin the wheel. See what happens. What do you say? Joke, meet me at the comedy club. Shayna asks, what about toothpicks? Not as many as before, he says. Dad. Not as many trees as there used to be because of the big hurricane. I get you. All right, let's see. Shayna said, what about toothpicks for each P, Bay, and J? I think it works. If you want toothpicks, I say we use toothpicks. If you don't want to use toothpicks, I say we don't use toothpicks. I'll leave it entirely up to you. If you use toothpicks, I'll reimburse you for the toothpicks. But the peanut butter and jelly is the important part. Got to get a big knife in the peanut butter and jelly. It'll be fun. All right. Oh, jokes. I got a whole bunch of goofy jokes for you people. Here you go. This is fun. Dad jokes for my dad. Let's start. See if I can find them real quick. Uh-oh. There it is. All right. Hey, why did the computer go to bed? Because it needed to crash. Hey. What do you give a dentist of the year? A little plaque. Oh, here's a good one. Historically, what causes the most dry skin? A towel. Fun. All right, we'll come back to that a little bit later. And if you have any jokes you'd like me to tell, just let me know. I enjoy them. Let's spin the wheel. Oh, Monologue, nice. Meet me in the theater. I got a couple of good ones. Aw, you're the sweetest. That's all good. We'll figure it out. But that would I'd like to reimburse you. But if yeah, of course you can come in the show for free. But I consider you part of the team. I'd like you to be there a little bit early and be part of the cast if you can. We'll talk about it. Let's see. Oh, man, I can't get over how good this suit looks in the green screen. This is so nice. Okay, let's do the... First monologue was sent in by Shayna. This is from the movie Clue. Sadly, I can't do the English voice properly, but I will try my best to do it justice. It's a monologue from Clue, delivered, of course, by Tim Curry, who played Wadsworth. Ladies and gentlemen, my instructions are clear. It seems the 6 of you have one thing in common. You are all being blackmailed. For some considerable time, all of you have been paying what you can afford, and in some cases more than you can afford, to someone who threatens to expose you. Until tonight, none of you knew who was blackmailing you. I hope that I'm correct, that the more deductive amongst you have reasoned in the last several moments that it was, of course, Mr. Body himself, and that the less discerning members of our cadre are experiencing that particular revelation right about now. 6 suspects, 6 murders, Mr. Body. in the billiard room, the cook in the kitchen, the motorist in the lounge, the cop in the library, Yvette in the ballroom, and the singing telegram girl in the hall. Not to mention one confidential envelope missing damning evidence. Our evening's guests may be gifted at breaking the law, but they certainly need to work on breaking a case. So who is the killer, you may ask? I'm sure you have your suspicions, but we've no time to discuss that. The police are merely here. Fun. All right. Hey, we got a joke from Dad. God created woman and said we couldn't find them in every corner of the world. Made great women and said we could find them in every corner of the world, and then he made the world round. I like that one. Oh, I got a good one. You probably remember this one. This is, when God created woman, he gave her not 3 breasts. Wait. Oh, of course I've seen the movie Clue. I love Clue. I've seen Clue 30 or 40 times. It's a great movie. I just can't do Tim Curry justice. He's just amazing. Okay, here we go. When God created woman, he gave her not 2 breasts, but 3. When the middle one got in the way, he performed surgery. When woman stood before God with the useless breast in hand, she said, well, what do we do with the useless boob? And God created man. There you go. Balance that out. I love Clue. And I love taking your requests. Thank you for the request, by the way. I appreciate it. Let's spin the wheel, see what happens. Prose! Nice. Meet me in the Prose library, would you please? Now, I've got 2 selections by great comedians. I'm going to start with a Steve Martin short story, or essay, I suppose. It's entitled The Nature of Matter and Its Antecedents by Steve Martin. It's about physics and celebrity. I hope you enjoy it. It's from his book Pure Drivel and took place around 1999, I think, maybe 2003, something like that. I was taking a meeting with my publicist last week trying to figure out what to do next. Marty suggested that the audience wants a Steve Martin to be doing a comedy right now. Tony said that a Steve Martin should do a nice cameo in Michelle's... Huh? Something's gone horribly wrong. We're going to skip that part. Tony said that a Steve Martin should be doing a nice cameo. Legion d'honneur, let's get you a Nobel. Let's make you a Nobel. Why not make a profound scientific discovery and then write an essay about it? This is what the public wants right now from a Steve Martin. I'd never thought of myself as a Steve Martin before, but I guess I was one, and frankly, it felt good. Go on, I implored. Well, you could write something on matter, or the nature of matter. Prose is doing something on reverse DNA. You could do something too. Maybe better. The problem is I'm not interested in it. It's pre-matter. The moment when it's not soup yet, when it's neither nothing nor something. Steve, isn't that really just semantics, said Michelle. You're talking about something existing prior to existing. I looked at her and thought how stupid she was. Now you're talking like Bruce and to me, I said. Did you see their piece in Actor Scientist? I would love to attack their semantics angle. Michelle inched forward. Why don't you, Steve? I realized she had maneuvered me into acceptance. I remember when Stallone had turned in his first Rambo draft. Through all the rewrites, he was also quietly conducting experiments on the irregular movements of explosive sound. He conjectured that explosive sound will travel faster through air, already jarred by another explosion, which, with the bizarre effect that between the 2 simultaneous explosions, a perceiver will hear the farther explosion first. The studio told me later that the studio wasn't too confident in the script at the time, but the scientific work was so fascinating, so they decided to let Stallone keep writing. Sly asked for no public acknowledgement of his work, but diligently spent hours editing to make sure the movie's sound corresponded to reality. The next day, I had my noon shrink appointment, and luckily we got into Spago at a corner table. I talked openly about my fears of winning a Nobel, and I also admitted my concerns about getting airline reservations and decent hotel rooms in Stockholm during prize season. My shrink reminded me that there were personal reasons for writing a scientific essay, the satisfaction of doing something for no other reason than to do it well. My other shrink disagreed. I have a call into my third tiebreaker shrink. That night, I was in a limo with Sharon Stone having sex, and I stopped for a minute with the question, can something be in a state of becoming, but not yet exist? Sharon crossed her legs as only she can and said something so profound that everything in me tingled. In Swahili it can. Now where were we? In her words was my answer to Bruce and to me. Only in English and other Germanic derivatives must a thing exist prior to its existence. Sharon's publicist explained further. After all, you're not talking about a grape becoming a raisin. You're talking about the interstitial state between pure nothing and pure something. I looked down. I was still tumescent. Then she added, who made your sunglasses? Oh, they're Armani's. I saw them at the store in Boston, but they were on sale, so I waited and got them at Barney's at full price. We finally arrived at the Ivy, where we were to meet Travolta, Goldie, and Kurt, Tom and Nicole, and Sly for dinner. Our table wasn't ready, so we yanked some tourists off their table and took their food. We talked through the evening. Sly astounded us by coming up with 9 anagrams of the word Rambo. Travolta amused the table by turning our flat bottle of Evian into gassy Perrier simply by adding saltpeter and rubber shavings. Kurt and Goldie discussed their cataloging of every damn grasshopper in Colorado. Tom mentioned that he could cure the common cold in 4 seconds with a vacuum gun, except for the pesky weakness of the eardrums, which tended to dangle outside the ears after treatment. Our publicists stood behind us as we ate, and one of them wisely noted that it renews the soul to do something for yourself, something that you don't market in Asia, and we all acknowledged the truth of that. Of course, every time the waiter or a fan would approach the table, we quickly turned the topic of conversation to Prada leather pants, because for that night, anyway, we decided to keep our little secrets. I drifted off for a few moments and thought about my paper. As much as I wanted to be known for my science writing and for it to be published under my own name, I also knew it might cost me the Nobel if I did. The committee would probably be disinclined to give an award to any man who has worn a dress to get a laugh from a monkey. I thought about publishing the essay under a pseudonym like Steve Morton or Steve Martin in order to deceive the Nobel Committee. My reverie was broken by Nicole, who asked the table, why do we do it, this science? No one had an answer until I stood up and said, isn't there money in a Nobel? Steve Martin. It's a whole different kind of funny. I love it. Let's see what our friend said. Hi, Jim. Glad you survived. I did too. I'm guessing your rose this week is that you survived the storm. That's mine. Ooh, this is a good one. What dog keeps the best time? Watchdog. Yes. How big did you want the PB&J bites to be? I don't know how to, maybe 1 inch square, 2 inch square, something like that. Great questions. Thank you. Watchdog. Yay. Oh, 3 questions in a row. What dog keeps the best time? How big do you want the PBJ bites to be? It's too bad you can't sneak in a quick nap before your show tonight. Is that not possible? I'm not going to be able to take a nap, but I am going to meditate. I'm going to take a good half hour to meditate before the show in the parking lot, and that is extremely helpful to my mental health. It feels as good as a nap, so I'll do that, and that'll get me through it. Thanks for being so sympathetic to my plight. You're wonderful. Watchdog. Oh, it's fun. All right, let's spin the wheel. Ooh, Shakespeare. Lovely. Meet me at the Shakespeare City. There we go. And I got a sonnet. I hate hangovers too, man. I never get them. This is weird. It's no good. All right, let's see. Johnny's Happy Place. And I'm talking to him. I'd like to know more about what's going on in your life, Shayna. I know you got one guy. Did you want to on any dates this week? I don't know. If you want to talk, I'll listen and read. I'm interested, but I don't mean to pry. All right, let's start with the sonnet. All right, let's do sonnet where we leave off. Sonnet number 37 by William Shakespeare. As a decrepit father takes delight to see his active child do deeds of youth, so I, made lame by fortune's dearest spite, take all my comfort of thy worth and truth. For whether beauty, birth, or wealth, or wit, or any of these, all, or more, entitled in thy parts do crowned sit, I make my love engrafted to this store. So then I am not lame, poor, nor despised, whilst that this shadow doth give each substance, that I in my abundance am sufficed, and by a part of all thy glory live. Look, what is best? That best I wish in thee, the wish I have, then 10 times happy me. Yeah. Genetic, no hangovers. Well, I'm genetic. I have a hangover. That's not fair. Oh, I'm sure I will. I'll drink lots of coffee. Yeah, that's exactly it. I started drinking a little bit of red wine. I have like 1 glass of red wine a night nowadays. But last night I was nervous because the show's coming up. And what is that? Is that? Hold on. There we go. There we go. That was bothering me. That's the point. Yeah, I'd have a glass of wine and then, but I had a whole bottle last night and that just did not agree with me. So now I know. I knew 6 shots of liquor. Oh, I do. Very good advice. Very good advice. I forgot to do that last night. That is exactly right. All right. Spin the wheel. Could have drank water. That would have solved the problem. What do we got? Ooh, poem. Nice. There, meet me in the poetry corner, would you? Got a couple joyful classics today, because today's all about feeling good. This is I Wandered. Coffee causes dehydration. Must be drinking it wrong. When I'm done with the set, I'll go grab some water. I got a water bottle over here. Thanks for looking out for me. I appreciate it. Okay, I got poems. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see. I have Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. That should do it. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I'm going to start again. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not be but gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie and vacant, or in a pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. Lovely. Dad enjoys a nice bourbon from time to time, too. No, he's a funny man. There's a big difference between being a funny man and a comedian. I'm a funny man now. It's weird. Used to be a comedian. It's fun. All right. Couple of shots of bourbon with it. Take that sting right off that water. I agree wholeheartedly. All right. No, I don't drink water there. Fish make love in it. He admitted he lied about his height. Well, that's good. Did he tell you why? Did he tell you when he decided to make that decision? I'm curious. To bring you up to speed, Dad, Shayna was trying to go on a date with a guy, but that guy was lying about his height. He was too old and other problems. Yep, there is that. But he is taller than 6 feet. You got to give that to Dad. Can't take that away from him. That's the only advantage I have over Jason Allen King, who's a friend of mine, Dad, a brilliant comedian who's very short. He's awesome. He's just a tremendous human being, but he's a great guy. Eat food off the ground, doesn't wash his hands before eating, plus kind of boring. Well, that's, I don't know. Sounds kind of exciting if you're a germ. Being boring is a deal breaker. If he don't make you laugh, it's just not going to happen. It's just, there's no magic. You got to laugh. That's all I got going for me. Debbie outclasses me in every possible way, but I make her laugh, so I get to come home to her every night. Yay. Or day, depending on the week. Well, I hope you find more interesting people. There'll be cool people at the show tonight. I'll introduce you around. How about that? Tell you what, let's spin the wheel, see what happens. Where's my wheel? There it is. Zen Koan, meet me there. Meet me at the campfire, would you please? Okay, Shayna says that another guy she was talking to doesn't have a car. That's very weird. Was he, did he get like a DUI or something? Or is he from New York? Or what's the story? That's weird. Especially if you're dating. That's the best thing about being 15 is I was able to get my car and go on dates. Yeah, not having a car is very problematic. Weird. Makes you wonder if he's this. It's like he's got some kind of secret or something. I don't like it. Let's keep moving, shall we? I want to tell you this real quick. I think you're going to enjoy this. This is a Zen Koan. Now, as you know, Zen Koans are teaching tools in the study of Japanese Zen Buddhism. There's 100 of them, and we are currently on number 83, I think. Let me double check. Here we go. Getting closer. Here we are. There it is. Number 83 is no work, no food. Hyakujo, the Chinese Zen master, used to labor with his pupils even at the age of 80, trimming the gardens, cleaning the grounds, and pruning the trees. The pupils felt sorry to see the old teacher working so hard, but they knew he would not listen to their advice to stop, so they hid away his tools. That day, the master did not eat. The next day, he did not eat, nor the next. He may be angry because we have hidden his tools. The pupils surmised. We had better put them back. The day they did, the teacher worked and ate the same as before. In the evening, he instructed them. No work, no food. How true that is. All right. Oh, hey, here's a couple of things. He lives in Plaza Midwood and says he rarely needs a car. Then how the hell are you going to get out of Plaza Midwood? You got to get out of there. Rarely needs a car. I don't understand that at all. That sounds shifty to me. Rides a bike everywhere. Well, that's nice. He's probably in great shape. I know you like that. He's probably tall to ride a bike. You got to be for your feet to reach the pedals, right? Huntersville. That's a good 25 minutes, I think. That would be very difficult. And then when he shows up at your house all sweaty from the bike ride, that's not as fun. Also, in response to your question about the short guy, a lot of guys online dating lie about that. I wouldn't understand lying about anything dating. Like I understand that the Tinder, right? The Tinder, you're supposed to be like sex for one day and then you never talk again or something, right? That's my understanding. Tinder. But like a real actual dating profile, lying on something that you can so easily be caught on, it's insane. Dad's got a car and a bike. He'll come down there and find you. That's the spirit. I am very lucky I'm tall. It's my favorite thing. They can't take that from me. I'm fat, but I'm tall. I'm nuts, but I'm tall. I do have hair. Huh? Isn't it fantastic today? Look at this. I love this hair today. I tried a new conditioner, and I'm enjoying it. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting a little bit into myself here. I don't want to do that. Let's spin the wheel. Wisdom. Meet me in the wisdom. My dad just pointed out that he has a bike. He has a bike and a car. What's the last time you rode a bike, Dad? I can't even imagine you riding a bike. I mean, I saw you when you were a younger man, of course, but taught me how to ride a bike and everything, but I'm just trying to picture what you would look like last time you tried it. Ah, well, we'll find out. All right, I got a couple of good pieces of wisdom for you. Nice and short. I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's start with wisdom from Herman Hesse, Hesse. To hold our tongues when everyone is gossiping, to smile without hostility at people and institutions, to compensate for the shortage of love in the world with more love in small, private matters, to be more faithful in our work, to show greater patience, to forgo the cheap revenge obtainable from mockery and criticism. All these are things we can do. Yeah. Good advice. You have a unicycle? I knew it. I knew it. Oh, hey. Wait, I wanted to ask you, actually, Debbie reminded me. You have vast storage. Let's go to the chat real quick. You don't know how to ride a unicycle, but you have one? That's interesting. Most people would, borrow somebody else's first, and then once they learned how, they would get their own. Oh, decoration. Nice. I like your style, lady. Okay, do you have any percussion instruments that you can bring? There's going to be a portion of the show tonight called Joyful Noise, where we pass around instruments. I'm bringing a bongo drum, a cowbell, and a tambourine, but I need maracas and little egg shakers. And $10 at the flea market, that's awesome. Okay, I would hang that up on the wall of my TGI Fridays. But if you have any percussion instruments that you can bring tonight, I'd be very grateful if you did, and I make sure to give them back to you when we're done. Okay. Nice. So let's see. Don't know how to ride a unicycle. It's a trike. Dad's got a trike. All right. It does look cool. I would definitely buy it for $10 at a flea market. That's awesome. And you haven't learned how to... I'm surprised you haven't learned how to do the unicycle and the hula hoop at the same time. I've never seen that. That'd be pretty cool. Of course, you have percussion instruments. I was mentioning it to Debbie. He's like, do you have any maracas like in storage back there? She's like, you don't think Shayna's got maracas? I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. I'll ask her. You do seem to be the kind of person who would have maracas. All right, let's keep moving. Let's spin the wheel. Acapella, nice. Meet me in the acapella library. Let's see. Let's do this one. Let's do Lovin Life by the Bare Naked Ladies. One of the best names for a band and my favorite band, as it turns out. Here we go. I can bring several maracas, egg shakers, tambourines. Please, bring the whole stack. You have both? That is very cool. Dad's got maracas. I did not know that. All right, here's a little song. 1 minute we're here, the next one we're not. The clock is ticking, better use what you got. It's Armageddon and we're getting it on, because the world could end before the end of this song. There'll be darker days, there'll be hell to pay, but until then just keep breathing and loving life. We're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. We're loving life. We're loving life. It's like a pizza and we want another slice. We take it high, we take it low. We ride that roller coaster anywhere we go. We're loving life. We're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. It's pretty nice. We're loving life. So la la love it. So la la love it. We're loving life. So la la love it. So la la love it. We're loving life. So la la love it. So la la love it. We're loving life. So la la love it. So la la love it. I got some money and I bought some regrets. There'll be fender benders on the road to success. You got your problems and I know I've got mine. The grass is looking greener till you realize on the best of days there'll be joy and pain. Are you feeling what I'm feeling? We're loving life. We're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. We're loving life. We're loving life. It's even sweeter than a watermelon slice. We take it high, we take it low. We ride that roller coaster anywhere it goes. We're loving life, we're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. It's really nice. So loving life, so la la love it, so la la love it. We're loving life, so love it, so love it. We're loving life, so love it, so love it. We're loving life, so love it, so love it. We only get one shot, living on this rock. Don't need a postdoc to keep up with this plot, 'cause we're all taught that it's so fraught. What if we just got to the mic drop? We're loving life, we're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. We're loving life, we're loving life. We're on a pizza and it's like another slice. We take it high, we take it low. We ride that roller coaster anywhere it goes. We're loving life, we're loving life. We love it so much that we want to live it twice. It's pretty nice. We're loving life, so love it, so love it. I'm loving life, so love it, so love it. I'm loving life, so love it, so love it. You're loving life, so love it, so love it. Can't be defensive or on the attack. You gotta love it if it's gonna love you back. Nice. Great song. Hey, good to see you, buddy. Welcome, sir. All right, let's see. I could bring maracas. You're my dream girl. Easy, Dad. Wow, that's a big swing. I have 8 handheld percussion instruments. Now you're my dream girl. Jim, you are sweet. Good afternoon. Glad you're here, Daniel. Welcome, sir. Food line is crazy busy. I try not to go in there on Sundays. It's nuts. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming, bud. Bring you up to speed. I got a show tonight. And we were talking about that. I'll tell you what, let's just spin the wheel. Let's keep it moving. To the wheel. All right, let's, Rose and Thorn. Let's meet at the chat, shall we? What are your roses and thorns for the week? Let's see. I'll let you say yours. I'll just tell you mine. My rose, obviously, I've been working hours and hours and hours on AI art. I was really depressed at the beginning of the week, but I discovered how to use the Meta AI to make pictures of myself. You saw them at the beginning of the show. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. I went way overboard, but it gave me, it was free and gave me a very powerful dopamine hit. And by the end of 3 days of messing with the AI art, I was in a great mood again. So maybe a coincidence, maybe not, but I'm very excited about the AI art. I'm going to put some more of that up at the end. Let's see, the kids are doing great. Nobody had any big swings this week. Debbie was working hard. The kids were at school all week. Charlotte had a birthday party. Oh, actually, this is pretty nice. Charlotte had a birthday party. I'm going to count this as a rose, even though it was a hassle. But Charlotte had a birthday party yesterday at a friend's house over by her school. And I dropped her off at 2, and I was supposed to pick her up at 4. And I showed up at 4. And the door to the house opens, and out comes 20 children, my daughter's age, and they're all linked, arm in arm. They're a human chain. And this was in protest of me asking Charlotte to leave. She wanted to stay for another hour and a half, but to see her coming out of the house, and it was like 25 different kinds of brown kids. And then Charlotte, she was the only white one in the group. It's just seeing them all together, taking a stand. It made me so happy. Made me just okay, didn't Dr. King say something about that? That makes me happy. So I just let them stay for another hour and a half, and I came back, picked them up. She had a great time, and that was my rose. My thorn was I drank too much, and I threw up. That's about it. Other than that, it's been a great week. What are your roses and thorns? Let's take a look. Red hair fades. I'm counting that as a rose since you got that cotton candy thing going on. Daniel, Johnny wants me to show up at the show early tonight. I'm bringing PG. Yes, I do, please. A half hour, max. You'll be fine. Thorn, a flicking hurricane. Right? Rose, if you don't mind going early. Otherwise, we could drive separately. Oh, Daniel's coming. Cool. I look forward to meeting you, bud. Rose, I lived through it. Yay! Okay, Rose, lake guy. Rose volunteered at a charity event to raise some money for the Humane Society. That's wonderful. I love dogs as much as anybody. What kind of volunteer work did you do? It was paperwork, that kind of thing, or were you dealing with dogs, or what's the story? Did you run a marathon, something like that? I'm just curious. Well, tell you what, go ahead and fill out your roses and thorns, and I'll be right back. What do you say we spin the wheel? MC, nice. I love hosting. MCing is so much fun, and especially at a charity event. Oh, it's nice. You get to dress up. You get to wear tux. I love wearing a tux. I haven't had an excuse for quite some time, but I do love wearing a tux. All right, let's spin the wheel and see what happens. Yes, great question. I will answer it presently. Oh, Joe, nice. Meet me in a comedy club. All right. What kind of bug can tell time? A cockroach. Hey, how can you tell when a comedian passes gas? Something smells funny. Classic. Wanted to buy a pair of camouflage pants, but I couldn't find any. One more. Why shouldn't you trust trees? It's because they seem shady. There we go. Good, clean fun. Oh, very good. Are the dogs pooping any less in the house? Yes, it's getting better because the weather is good enough now where I can leave the door open. So they will go outside. So yesterday was the first 24-hour period. We made it all the way through. No, I don't have any plans for any dad jokes tonight. No, not on purpose anyway. 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Nice. Complicated. All right, let's spin the wheel. All right, monologue. I got a special one picked out for today. I'm kind of trying to be a new kind of character tonight at the big show. It's part of the reason I'm wearing. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's almost a preacher character. The character's name is Great Big Granddaddy Dan. His last name is Durden. He's Great Big Granddaddy Dad Durden. And he's my preacher character. And every comedian has a preacher character. And this is a brilliant monologue written by Mark McKinney, one of the kids in the hall from their show, about how every comedian has a preacher character. So let me find, there it is, preacher character. Nope, that's not it. There it is. Preacher character by Mark McKinney. What weighs more, the Bible or the Bhagavad Gita? Well, worldly scholars and scientists have known for quite some time that the Bible outweighs the Bhagavad Gita here by a pound to a pound and a half sometimes. Outweighs the Talmud sometimes by 3 to 4 pounds. Outweighs that mighty Koran sometimes by 5 to 10 pounds. You think about that. Every comedian has a preacher character. Every comedian uses the preacher character as a reliable, solid comedy device. And why not, I say? Say an ordinary line like, get off the phone, and you got nothing. Say it as your preacher character, get off the phone, sinner, and you're halfway to a joke. All comedians use the preacher character. Now, lately, the preacher character has been coming under attack. Now, why is that? Well, I've been hearing some folks say that they think the preacher character is finished as a comedy vehicle. It's worn out. They're saying stuff like, I don't like that preacher character anymore. It's been done. It's passé. Get that old guy off my TV set. I don't like that preacher character. Give me something new. That old preacher character doesn't make me laugh anymore. That old preacher character doesn't make me laugh anymore. They're saying that. And who are these people? Are they the general TV audience? Are they fans? Or are they writers? Or are they critics given to criticism? Because I think the time has never been more right, more profitable, more correct for the preacher character. All you got to do is look down to the southern United States. You can see that the televangelists and preachers are fast eclipsing the rock and roll musicians as the drug-popping, tax-weaseling, prostitute-pumping bad boys of pop culture It's a Bible Belt Babylon down there. And they say we don't need that preacher character anymore. Well, I say to people like that, I like my preacher character. It gives me the now feeling. I'd like to finish with a story. I had a friend of mine in the industry, a stand-up comic, who was having some troubles with his preacher character. And he said to me that it wasn't working. He would go out and do the preacher character and no one would laugh. Now, he had done this preacher character at stand-up comedy clubs. He did it at parties he attended socially. He had made a home video, and when he told me of his problems, I said, Tom, try drawling a little more. Extend your vowels. And if that doesn't work, are you sure you're funny? Shut him up. So what weighs more, the Bible or a compilation copy of Gary Larson's Far Side cartoons? Think about it. Mark McKinney's so brilliant. Oh, that was super fun. Mark McKinney's so good. Love it. All right, questions. Oh, these are good. Rose, Kale asked me to MC you get to MC the comedy show? That's huge. At the festival, which was such an honor, but Thorne, why'd you have to decline? Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay, I've been there. I understand. I don't like him either. Yeah, I'm so happy that somebody asked you to host a comedy show. That's fantastic. I understand one particular person. I could probably even guess who it is. And you probably made the right choice. Have I ever declined in participation in the show? Oh, all the time. I will definitely, there's 2-3 people I avoid. I'm trying to cut down on that. But yes, there are lots and lots of open mics that I haven't gone to because this one person might be there, or somebody else's comedy show if I see it. Get some rest. Take care, buddy. Look forward to meeting you. I really like that character. But yeah, it depends. I suck it up and do it anyway if the money's really good, or if it's an opportunity that leads to something more important, and if I'm not going to have to deal with the person over and over again. If it's not, you got to find your balance. It's between the cost and the risk and the reward, I suppose. But yeah, I've definitely missed a lot of free shows because of some jerk. But I'm so sorry you didn't. I was so excited for you. We'll find you a spot. We'll figure it out. Good job with this one. Thank you. Need to drop. See you tonight. Talk to you later, Daniel. We are up to speed. Let's spin the wheel. Nice. Prose. Meet me in the Prose library. My second choice for prose today is one by Norm Macdonald. I've read this one on the stream before, but it's my favorite. I love Norm. It's from his book, based on a true story. And it's just wonderful. The story is this. Every comedian is asked during interviews, what's the best and worst gig you've ever had? Just something that people think of. So this is My Best Gig Ever by Norm Macdonald. I had gotten a gig doing comedy at a hospital for the patients. It didn't pay any money, but that's not why a comic does a gig like that. You take that type of gig just because you want to be a good person and receive eternal life. Son of a bitch, the drive was long. Why they built a hospital so damn far away from everybody, I couldn't figure. It was way out in the middle of northern Ontario, where you have to pray your car doesn't break down. And if it does, you have to pray you freeze to death before the timber wolves find you. Well, after all, they owned a hospital, they knew what they were doing, and I was just some guy in a car asking questions to myself. Suddenly, in the middle of nothing, where the infinite nothing of the sky meets the infinite nothing of the snow, I saw something. It was a small, square, blue sign, a sign indicating a hospital ahead. It may as well have read "Last Chance for Heart Attack for 300 miles. I was getting close and getting nervous, too. Maybe it was the barbed wire around the perimeter, or maybe it was the armed guards. What kind of hospital was I playing, anyway? I got my answer quick enough because it was written on a big sign. Hospital for the Criminally Insane. My agent had never been big on details. It took me a while just to find the place. First they patted me down and they took all my weapons and my drugs. Then they looked up my ass, and they took those weapons and drugs as well. But finally they let me go from the outside to the inside. "Take me to the warden," I demanded. "This is a hospital, son. There's no warden." "Fine, then take me to the entertainment director." We walked down a long corridor filled with howls of anguish and high, wailing screeches. Every cage I passed had a guy in it, and every guy was acting odder than the last. The first guy was scratching his hair real hard, even though it was shorn close, like he was trying to scratch inside his head or something, and he just kept saying, "I was at John D. Rockefeller's funeral." Then the next guy was just staring at me, stone still. He had a big smile on his lips, but his eyes were cold dead. I started laughing to beat hell. "How do you work with characters all day and not crack up?" I asked the orderly. "You get used to it." "What about the guy with the cold dead eye standing there? What did he do to get in here?" "His name's Fred Henshaw. He took his mother out to the cold, cold tundra. The cold northern tundra where the sun never sets. And he cut off her eyelids. That way she couldn't sleep or even shield her eyes from the sun. Then Fred had her wander around, tripping in the snow, falling, getting back up, falling again. Every day, Fred would take a hypodermic needle and remove a half a pint of blood from the old lady. After about a week, his mother just lay down on the snow. Then he sat down and waited for the crows to come. My God, that's the worst thing I ever heard of. What about the guy before him, Mr. Itchyhead? What did he do?" "Oh, him? Trust me, you don't want to know." "Oh, him? Trust me, you don't want to know." These character shenanigans became less amusing after I heard their backstories. I was starting to get real nervous about the show, thinking that maybe these guys wouldn't be able to relate to my material. How could they be expected to understand the difference between cats and dogs, or the difference between Los Angeles and New York, if they didn't understand the difference between right and wrong? I was shown into a room where I met the entertainment director. "Listen, pal, I want to do good and all, but I think this is a big mistake. When I heard this was a hospital, I imagined sick people, really sick people, the kind you want nothing to do with. Some of these fellows look healthier than you or me." Don't worry, you'll do fine. We had the Gatlin brothers last week." "The Gatlin brothers?" I couldn't believe my ears, but then the guy showed me the room, and it was world class with steep stadium seating, perfect acoustics. I'd only seen such a fancy venue one time, and that was for a crowd made up of folks who'd never slaughtered anyone. It was like a broken calculator. It just didn't add up. How is it that these monsters deserve such a fancy venue? Well, let me explain something, Norm. You see, technically all these fellows are not guilty. Not guilty by reason of insanity. Do you understand? No. Every one of these men has been found not guilty in the eyes of the law. Oh. Well, that shed a different light on the situation. If these guys weren't guilty of anything, then they deserved the best show I could give them. I guess I always knew that deep down, but it took the entertainment director to really make me realize it. Soon showtime arrived, and I stood in the wings peering through the curtains. The room was made to hold about 500, but I could see there were only roughly 7 people assembled. Where is everybody? The entertainment director shook his head. "I can't figure it. There's not a single other form of diversion in this entire hospital for the criminally insane." And then he looked at me mean, like it was my fault. "It's not my fault," I said. "Well, when we had the Gatlin brothers last week, we had to turn people away. Criminally insane people. It broke my heart. Well, get out there, you're on." And he pushed me toward the stage really hard. I hit the stage to silence. "Good evening, folks. How many of you out there on answering machines?" "None of us. That's how many," answered one, and the other 6 grumbled in assent. "You got any complaints? Tuesday morning meeting's the time to bring 'em up, Kowalski. You know that. Now pipe down and let the man speak," said a guard. "Anyhow," I continued, "I got one, and they're more trouble than they're worth in many ways. Now say a man phones you and—" I just couldn't go on. One of the criminally insane men had found his way onto the stage and had begun biting my leg hard. and the guard had been striking him with the business end of a baton, but that just caused the criminally insane man to dig his teeth deeper. I started shrieking, and the audience got a big kick out of that, so the other patients began to wander into the auditorium to see what the commotion was, and by the time they finally shed my leg of the criminally insane man's teeth, the place was full, with everybody clapping and cheering and biting. It was the greatest show I ever had. Lovely. Oh, this is going to be fun. Off to Pilates. Enjoy. Have a very good day. I don't want cheap viewers. Thank you. How very odd. All right. Guess it's about almost time to wrap this up, Dad. Well, we'll finish it up. Here we go. Shakespeare, please come on in and meet me in the Shakespeare stage. This is a monologue from Julius Caesar. This is shortly after Caesar has been killed, and Brutus is trying to explain the choices he made to the assembled people at the funeral. Here we go. Romans, countrymen and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may be the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar was living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him I have offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him I have offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, not glory, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death. Lovely. You have a great day, too. I know everybody's gone, Dad. That's all right. I'm recording it for the, there's some folks who watch it on YouTube. All right. Let's spin the wheel. All right, Dad, we got some Edgar Allan Poe for you. This is A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream, yet if hope has flown away in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none? Is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore. Within my hand grains of the golden sand, how few! Yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep while I weep. While I weep, oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Fun. There we go. Ooh, Zen Koan, meet me at the campfire. This is Zen Koan number 84, True Friends. A long time ago in China, there were two friends, one who played the harp skillfully, and one who listened skillfully. When the one played or sang about a mountain, the other would say, "I can see a mountain before us." When the other would play, he would say, "Here's the running stream." But the listener fell sick and died. The first friend cut the strings of his harp and never played again. Since that time, the cutting of harp strings has always been a sign of intimate friendship. All right, let's do some wisdom from on high. Here we go. This will be our final thought. We're going to wrap it up. This is wisdom from Carl Gustav, which is spelled Carl Gustau. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. It's true. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for watching, Dad. Appreciate you being here. Stay until the end. Sorry about the late start. I'll have some video clips for you next week of some of the stuff we did in the show. Thanks for watching. And remember, until next time, the only way to save this country is for all of us to love each other. So love yourself first, then love somebody else. Then, if you can, love everybody. That's what I'm trying to do. Sing along if you know the words, folks. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, and the blue clouds will push the dark clouds far away. Blue sky. And would you please say hello to the folks that I know and tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And until then, be good, but not too good. Bye-bye.